Hey everybody, happy Thursday. And since it's Thursday, that means that I'm on Twitter. And also, it is hockey mayhem in my house. For any of you who are big hockey fans, because if any of you don't know, I married a Canadian, so that means that I, therefore, married into hockey fandom. And the Canadians are playing the Rangers, and it's like a do or die. They're 3-2, and there's 7 games total for any of you who don't know when you play a team. And so the Rangers have won 3 games and the Canadians have won 2 games. So I've got to get this video out so we can go watch some hockey. Am I right? Okay. I have 3 questions as well as a journal topic coming from one of our very own. So thank you very much. And thank all of you for so many journal topic ideas. You're saving my bacon because half the time trying to, think of something, and if any of you have epiphanies or quotes you like or things that you think of, bring them my way, and you can even give them the hashtag Kati Journal Topic, and I can find them that way. Okay, so anyway, first question. I thought this was a really great question. I get a lot of questions like this all the time. So, is it normal to be scared to be okay? My family won't care about me if they don't know I'm struggling with self-harm and anxiety. It's very normal, and I often talk to my clients about this because we get so wrapped up in our disorders or our struggles or our like anxiety, self-harm, and we begin to identify it as part of who we are and what we're about versus reminding ourselves that we're wonderful and amazing and people love us and want to be around us anyways. And that voice tells us they only care and they only pay attention because you're sick, and they only show up because you're sick, and they only call you because they know that you're struggling, and blah, 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 blah. And we tell ourselves that. And so oftentimes we're scared that if we aren't struggling, they won't be there. But I promise you, this is that negative voice telling you a bunch of lies and bullshit, because people will be there because they love you. That's why they're there when you're sick. In all honesty, it's harder for people to be around for us when we're really having a hard time, because we know self-harm, anxiety, eating disorders, depression, these things can go on for long periods of time. And the people who've stuck through all of that with you for the long haul, that's the hard stuff, right? Being there for someone for that long is really hard. But if you're doing well, imagine how wonderful and easy it will be to be a part of their life and to build on your relationship. So I would encourage you to fight back against those negative thoughts. Don't believe them. They're lying. Okay? Question number 2. Hi, Kati. I had a quick question. This past fall, I was in treatment and left on bad terms. I was doing better, but then I relapsed. Would going back into the same treatment center be beneficial for me, or do you think that I've learned what I could have while I was there? There are limited resources where I'm from, and I feel like someone who's never been in the program may be able to utilize the skills I've already been taught. Thanks in advance. Hope you're having a great day. And I am. Of course you can learn more. If you can get in somewhere and you need help, get the help. Go in. I know a lot of clients that I would see at my period of time when I worked at the inpatient, not the hospital, but in a residential treatment center. They'd come back, and they'd always have trouble when they'd come back because they'd think, well, I think I got everything out of it. And I automatically think to myself, if you got everything out of it that you want to learn, then you wouldn't be having to come back. Am I right? Because it's not so much about what I, as a therapist or a group therapist, can help you learn or help you understand. It's more about what work you're able to do and what you're able to understand and process, because it takes time. We can't just lickety-split, get through all our issues and come back and be like, et voila, I'm better. So we're going to have to work at it, and it may take time. And a lot of that is part of our process. And so going back, I honestly believe that if any of you have been in treatment before and you're considering going back, please go back. You'll be surprised how much more you'll learn having already been into treatment, and kind of the anxiety of going isn't there as much, and you're able to process through more. And if you're willing to get better, that's the number one thing. So if you're feeling like you're ready to get better, please, please, please go back, because you will learn so much more about yourself, because it's more about your process. It's not about the treatment center. Honest. Okay. Question number 3. Any tips to deal with severe short-term depression? I have MDD, and on my period, I get really depressed, can't move / use skills. I get badly ill. I know a lot of us have this kind of short-term extreme symptomology where things will get just way worse than they ever were. And we think, oh my gosh, my world is crashing. What the heck do I do? And the best thing we can do is prepare in advance. The great thing about this question is it sounds like it happens monthly. And if you're any other woman out there, you know your cycle. Roughly we know when we're going to start, because otherwise we wouldn't be prepared and we could have accidents in public, and that's like every woman's worst nightmare, right? So I would encourage you to prepare ahead. Make sure maybe you see your doctor and you get a medication that helps you in the short term. If there's anxiety, I know Xanax in the short term can really help people. If you think you're suffering from PMDD, I have a video on that, so you might want to search that on my channel. But it's definitely something that you can get other help for. And I think setting yourself up for situations where you can't get out of them, even though you're feeling like shit and you want to stay at home, like making plans with someone and telling them you have to keep them, you have to come get me, we have to go on that walk, or we have to get out. We have to set ourselves up for success. So whether it's that or crafts or movies or anything that you can do that you cannot get out of, I just say prepare ahead, because other than warm baths and relaxing music and things like that can kind of help ease the discomfort if you feel really bodily ill. Heating pads can really help. But other than that, I think emotionally forcing yourself to listen to happy music, making plans with a friend to go see a happy movie like Blended or something, or anything like that, I would encourage you to do, because the great thing about it is that it doesn't happen all the time. And so when we have these big bouts, we can be prepared and have our tools in place. So I would encourage you to prepare ahead, maybe even create like a little preparation box filled with things to do, ideas, journals, whatever it is. And if any of you have tips to help you in the short term, can you let us know below? Because these are just things that have worked with my clients. I usually do a lot of planning ahead of time for rough times, so that when the rough times come, they may not be as rough. And we all have different experiences, right? Okay, now the journal topic. If any of you don't love Sherlock Holmes, I love Sherlock Holmes, and I am addicted. I'm waiting for more episodes and season finale, and what the heck. So, and if you all also oddly don't find him attractive, what? Punk sent me a really cool journal topic, and it says Sherlock Holmes has zero inhibitions. So if any of you haven't recognized that, then you might be watching the wrong Sherlock Holmes. And he doesn't comply with any social conventions of politeness and whatnot. So if you could be like that for a while, what would you say and to whom? I think this is a really cool journal topic, because oftentimes we think, like even today, I had this person push into me, whack me with her purse, and then proceed to sit down almost on top of me at the Social Security Administration building and like dig through her purse for stuff. And I wanted to say, lady, I know there's not a ton of space, but why are you all up in my shit right now? Like, that's what I would have wanted to say, because it made me really uncomfortable. And it was like, but I didn't say anything, right? Because socially, that's not really acceptable. I didn't want to get in a fight. So what would you say, and to whom, and why? And it might be kind of cathartic to write it out. So I think that's really cool. So give it a try and see how you feel, and let me know if you like it. And I have other journal topics for next time. Tomorrow is finally Friday, so I'll be on Facebook. Ask your questions there. Bye!